Welcome to the latest episode of Real Time Radical, and I'm your host, Cole Sharman. Today I'm joined by Stuart Procter. Stuart Procter is the Managing Director of the Stafford Hotel in London. Now, Stuart began his career at the tender age of 16 for a 3-year apprenticeship under the watchful eye of Craig Bancroft and Nigel Haworth. He went to work for Shire Hotels as a Deputy General Manager. Stuart then became General Manager of the Vineyard, a luxury 5-star hotel and spa in Berkshire, before heading north again to become General Manager of the Devonshire Arms Hotel and Spa in North Yorkshire. During the 4 years, the hotel gained 4 AA Red Stars, along with several accolades, including 1 Michelin Star and 3 Rosettes. In 2006, Stuart got his first taste of London life when he took over the helm at the Stafford at the age of 29, taking on responsibility of overseeing the £26 million development. During his 5-year tenure, the hotel's annual revenue grew from 8 million to 12.5 million and profitability from 2.2 million to 5 million. In 2011, Stuart left the Stafford to become Managing Director of GG Hospitality, the company he co-founded with Manchester United football legends Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville, spending 5 years creating and developing 2 global brand concepts, cafe football and hotel football. In November 2015, he made a much welcome return to the Stafford, London, as General Manager to oversee the multi-million £1 renovation. Hope you enjoy. So, hi Stuart, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, ready for a winter?
So let's start from the beginning. Where was you born?
Blackburn, Lancashire.
Okay, and who are or were your parents?
Ian and Kathleen Procter. So I was born there in 1975.
Not long ago.
No, it feels like yesterday.
And what did your parents do?
So my father was first into the building, supplying building companies, and then ended up working for Rothschilds in the finance markets.
Very different.
Very different, yeah.
And where did you grow up?
In Blackburn, Lancashire.
Yeah, you never really moved around?
No. Always in and around Blackburn and the River Valley, yeah.
And what was your education like?
It was very good, but we went to a very normal schools, Plattgate High School in Blackburn, which was a great school, a tough school, but a very solid school, really.
All did you go into this industry? The hospitality, sort of industry. Why did you get into that?
I think, well, like all young boys, I wanted to be a footballer. Then worked out I wasn't very good at it. But I love people. I loved cooking. So I was the only boy in the home economics class in a tough school. And I loved it. I just loved cooking. So I thought I wanted to be a chef, and that's really where it started.
And is it right in saying that you started within an apprenticeship of such?
Yeah. So I started in a hotel in Lango, Blackburn, called Northcote Manor, and now Northcote, which is a very successful boutique hotel. It is today, and back then it was a posh little country house hotel, and that's where I started, yeah.
Okay. And you very quickly, and we're going to go into this a bit deeper, but you very quickly become a leader. Was that something you always wanted to do at a younger age?
I think so, but I think it came through sport. So I was always the captain of the football team, captain of the town team, captain of Lancashire. So I thought it was just probably a Procter thing, wanting to be the leader. And that went into work, probably by the work ethic of being the team player and always wanting to make the team work. And that's probably from sport where I took it into work, really.
Fair enough. You must have been very competitive.
Yes, still am.
Yeah. I suppose you have to be in this competitive industry.
You do. I think, again, I always talk about football because I love football and I love hotel keeping, and it's the same as football. You've got to be the best, and if you run a hotel in London like the Stafford, you have to be in a Champions League position. You won't last very long if you're the bottom 3. So it is a very competitive, changing world.
And you worked with the highly rated Craig Bancroft and Nigel Haworth.
Yeah.
So what did you learn off them?
Amazing. Craig Bancroft, we're very close today. We're very close friends and mentors to each other now.
Yes.
What I learned of Craig was the best hospitality. So he is potentially the most hospitable person you could ever meet. His detail is second to none. he's an amazing leader. So he wouldn't ask you to do something that he wouldn't do. And so they were amazing. Nigel as a chef, a phenomenal chef, and a phenomenal guy. And again, wouldn't let average go over the pass. It had to be perfect. So I think detail and the level of detail, but not. We can all be detailed for a day, but to be detailed for 40 years every day is very different. And that's what they are.
That's fair enough. And then you fairly quickly become the general manager of the Vineyard. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And that's a luxury 5-star hotel and spa. So how did you do that so quickly? And what did that teach you, being still pretty young?
Yeah, I was 23, so it's very young, to be honest with you. Potentially too young, but hey ho, if you get given an opportunity, you take it.
Yes.
Well, it taught me, about myself, I suppose. But the biggest jumping on from there was the Devonshire Arms in Bolton Abbey, which really taught me about leadership, because I had a phenomenal leader and family that I worked for. So the Vineyard was great, but it was more of a stepping stone, I would say, in my career than the later parts. And
did you think it was a stepping stone when you first went into the Vineyard?
No, I didn't. I thought it was going to be the best thing since sliced bread, but it potentially was the worst thing, and the worst hotel, and the worst experience in my career, that turned into the best experience because I learned so much from it.
Okay, that's fair enough. And I have to ask this at this point: what makes a hotel 5-star?
Well, there's various things. So a 5-star hotel, there is a difference in a 5 black star hotel and a 5 red star hotel in Britain. So the Stafford is a 5 red star hotel. So that has an upper echelon level of service and level of detail. A 5-star hotel could just be the facility. So it could just be that it has 3 lifts, it has 2 bars, 3 restaurants, a swimming pool. But a 5 red star hotel is all about the elements and level of service and degree of detail, as well as the facility. Okay. So there is 2 very different things.
And is that something very early on you set out to want to be in charge of, a 5-star red hotel?
Yeah, I think so. I wanted to be in charge of the Stafford. I wanted to be in charge of a luxury hotel in London, because London is one of the, if not the best city in the world. To me, it certainly is the best city in Britain by a long, long way. Therefore, has the best hotels in Britain.
Fair enough. And you, I believe from my research, you moved back up north.
Yeah.
And why was that?
The opportunity to run and work for the family, the Duke and Duchess of Devonshire, was too great, really. They're an amazing family. The Devonshire Arms in Bolton Abbey was a super opportunity, because it was an okay hotel that wanted to be a brilliant hotel, and they had plans to create more hotels. And also, I wanted to be back in the north, if I'm frankly honest, at that chapter of my life. So the Devonshire Arms was a really, really super move for me back then.
And like you said, you took it from a okay to a very good hotel. I believe it gained a 4 AA red star, 1 Michelin Star, and 3 Rosettes, if that's correct.
Yeah.
Not that I'm great at my hotel lingo, but that's what I believe is true. How did you do this? How do you take an okay hotel to a very good hotel?
Well, I think it's about leadership and a team. I had an amazing managing director who was exceptionally motivated and exceptionally talented, who taught me a hell of a lot during that time, Carl. And we appointed really, really good people. And it's like I say all the time, we could spend £1 million on a chandelier like the Bellagio has one when you walk into the lobby. But if you don't have the right people doing the right things at the right time, you don't have the quality. And we did. We had an amazing team, and through the amazing team, we then made more revenue, so we therefore could invest more money. So it was a cyclical thing, really, that the more we took, the more we were allowed to spend on the property, because the family, it's all about the longevity of the hotel. It wasn't about a quick quid, an asset. It was about the longevity of the Devonshire Arms and the Devonshire Fells. So we had the support and backing from the family, top MD, and just amazing managers, really.
Yes, and already from talking to you like this, I can get an idea that you just have a passion for the overall detail of hotels. When you're talking about the Bellagio and other hotels you've clearly been to and visited across the world, you clearly have a keen eye for what you're looking for in terms of quality.
Yeah, you do, and I think you definitely do, because you have to, because our clients, and be it at the Stafford or wherever, but especially at the Stafford, probably 60% of my clients here could buy the hotel if it was for sale. So they expect the best silver, they expect the best china, they expect the best linen, because they're used to it. It's normal.
Yes,
these people. So it's not, if we give one of our best clients our best suite, that will be smaller than their guest room. So let's not, the detail and the quality, we have to be just so, because if we're not, our neighbours will be.
I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the Stafford. When you first come here back in 2006, you were still only 29.
Yes.
Which is, again, very, very young, probably compared to the industry.
Yeah.
And this was your first taste of London.
Yeah.
So how did you find it coming into a hotel like this and in London in such a competitive environment?
The Stafford was owned by a wonderful family. So the Yarborough family, who owned Thwaites Brewery in Blackburn, Lancashire, where I'm born and bred, and they were very supportive people. And I've known them a long time. So I'd known them, the family and the MD of the company and the organisation, since I was 19. So I'd known them for a decade. So I had very supportive people above me and to my side. And at the end of the day, be it if you're in London, Yorkshire, Hong Kong, New York, it is a hotel. So you're selling a bedroom, you're selling a cup of tea, you might be selling it for more, but you are doing the same function. Yeah. So there's nothing to be scared of, really. It's like, again, if you manage a football team in Milan or Manchester or New York, you're managing a football team, aren't you? And I think that people, to me, it's a myth when they go, have you got London experience? No, but I've run some of the best hotels outside of London. It's the same. Fine, your black book's not the same, but if you have the support from an owner and your directors, your black book will certainly quickly grow if you've got the right approach.
Excellent. And when you just said it's very similar to the to other hotels that you've managed, but how do you manage your time, because your job won't be the same every day? There's a lot of different customers that are coming in and out. So how do you tend to manage your day?
Well, I think, again, it comes with experience, doesn't it? So, we do start early. So there's a start. So we start before the clients really get up and about. So I'm always in the hotel for around 7:15, so that you can make sure everything's set. Not that I do operational duties at all, to be honest.
So what time do you wake up, just out of interest?
5:45.
Okay.
Yeah.
So bright and early?
Yeah, bright and early. I don't think there's any point in not doing, and get up and get out and get on. And so because again, being a London international hotel, a lot of your clients are either coming in early or they're getting up early. So this hotel starts to buzz at 7:30. It's alive, and my team have got to be on it and ready to go. And then we plan the day. I have a communications meeting at 9:00. I'll touch hands with residents before that. Communications meeting at 9:00, and then my day could be from discussing the next projects in the carriage house rooms to employing the next chef to whatever it may be. And you just prioritise what it is, but you need to also ensure that you're touching your client's hands, because that's what it's all about as well.
Yeah, that improves the experience.
It does.
So the two differences I gathered from the Stafford compared to some of your other ones you managed previously is, one, when you first come here and on your second time, which we talk about in a minute, is that you had the redevelopment that you had to take charge of. Yeah. And secondly, I can imagine that the revenues are a lot bigger here than they are at other establishments you probably have worked at. So how did you, one, grow the revenues as successfully you did in your first and second time here?
Yeah.
And two, coming back to the redevelopment, how did you sort of get your head around that part if you haven't done that previously?
So I think, again, it's all about revenue, Carl. It's all about money. Let's not kid ourselves. This is not a hobby for me or for my owners. So I think you've got to analyse the business that you have coming into the hotel, and it is all about yielding the business better. So if we can sell a bedroom for £500 as opposed to £300, the cost involved to selling that bedroom is the same. So we don't need another housekeeper, I don't need another barman, another manager, another flower. It's the same. So it is about enhancing, making sure we yield more from it, because then the profit will drop. So that's the key, really. Analysing what channels are coming into the business and what channels do you need, because we only have 106 rooms. Might sound a lot. It's a lot. It's not. But that's all we have to fill in one of the best cities in the world, and we want to fill it at the highest rate. And so that's the key. So then you have to look at, do you have the right people? Do you have the right marketing? Do you have the right PR? Do you have the right products? Do you have the right channels? Are we talking to the right clients? Because 1 minute China might be the best thing since sliced bread, the next minute Russian market might be really strong, the next minute the dollar might have dropped, so a lot of Americans coming in. So you really have to have your fingers on the pulse, because there's so many changing facets on a daily basis.
Yes.
And the market changes. It's like buying an airplane ticket. It doesn't stay the same. So you've got to be ahead of the game. You can't. We have to plan now. We're talking about January, February, March. Forget this year. This year's done. I could tell you probably by 3% what we'll achieve, top and bottom.
Okay.
It's done. So next year, right, what we're doing, what we're selling, why are we doing that? And let's plan for that. So it is forward thinking, having a strategy and a plan in place that everybody follows. Therefore, you'll get the results. It's like anything, planning, isn't it?
No, exactly. So how did you deal with the redevelopment then when you first come here? Because it's not a small redevelopment, especially in such a complicated area. Because it's
the Muse?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I was, not whether it's lucky or whatever it may be, but again, we had amazing, great people. So again, I think with people of talent and people with the right attitude and application, you can do whatever you want in anything, can't you? And we had great people who wanted to develop the best suites in London. So therefore we did. We had great owners who put the money in and did that. And so then we also spent the right amount of money with the right amount of people marketing that product. And change is really important in hotels. If you don't change, your clients will change. So if you don't stay ahead of the game, they'll go somewhere else. Because as we keep saying, it's not like, no disrespect to Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham. You are talking here. You are 5-minute walk from the Stafford to the Ritz, Browns, Connaught, Goring, Barclay, Dorchester, 45 Park Lane, Mandarin, Bulgari. Lanesborough. I've not even really thought about it.
Yes.
So you clients are gone. So you really, again. So going back to the question, we had the right people and the right money and the right development. So it was brilliant being the boss, because you're selling a new story.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And talking about change, you left here in 2011 for the first time. Yes. Why was that?
I left because I needed a change, probably. I was probably doing the same things, and the hotel wasn't really changing or developing. There was a management company brought in called Kempinski, who were lovely people. And it didn't suit what I wanted to do. I had a great opportunity to do something different, and I thought it would be right for me and for the Stafford to go and do something different and learn again, learn more things.
And what did you move into?
So I went to develop cafe football and hotel football from scratch, from the ground up, which was a great thing to be able to be involved in and to deliver. And to open,
and that is, as many people may know or may not know, with Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville. That's where it came from. But how or where do you start when it's a brand new concept like that?
I think you've got to do your feasibilities. I think that's the key. You have to do your homework. You have to understand what it can potentially be, and what does it look like when you open it. So you have to do a lot of groundwork. Who's going to use it? How are you going to fill it? What do you need? Do you need 300 suites? Do you need 40 bedrooms? Do you need 60 restaurants? Do you need one? So you've got to really take your time and plan. And that's what we did. We did have time, and we had great resources, and again, great people to plan properly, to then open what is today the most successful, probably, hotel opening in Manchester for a long time, and thriving. So,
why is that? Is that because of the experience? Is that why people keep going there?
Yeah, I think it's a terrific hotel at a great price point, Carl. I think in a super location. You're out of town. The product is very good. It's good value. And that area with the blue chip companies from the BBC, the ITV, the Kellogg's, there's some serious players. Manchester United, Lancashire Cricket Club. There's some really big players for that area. And it doesn't rely on match days at all. Match days are great, but it can't just rely on that. Otherwise, it wouldn't survive.
No, for sure. And what did you take from that? In terms of, it's probably, or it might not be, very different to what you've done previously, especially being here at the Stafford, where you've already got an established name and you're just trying to develop it to the next level. So what did you learn from that you may have brought back here?
I think I learned a lot. Opening such a, it's not a big hotel, but it is pretty big, big F&B. I think I learned a lot in that experience. So therefore, when I came back here, we needed to develop the Stafford. We needed to enhance the Stafford. We needed to really evolve the Stafford at pace and quickly, so I could lead that and understand and analyse very quickly the areas that were required. So, for example, the F&B area wasn't working. We need to look at it. So really quickly get something done about that and do it in a methodical way. So the Game Bird is a success of that, which is tomorrow night on MasterChef. And then, then next Saturday will be in the Times, and all these things that you learn, developing the carriage houses, dealing with the bank, so all these things you didn't do in your previous life here, you now do pretty comfortably.
And you may give me the obvious answer, but why did you return to the Stafford?
I love it.
Yes,
I love.
I thought you was going to say that.
No, I do. I love the Stafford. It's been in my blood a long time. I love the team. I like the luxury end of the market, and I thoroughly. When you leave it, you don't understand how much you miss it. So really, there's a very big difference. It is a fact. I love London. My family live in London. There's lots of factors, really.
And when you come back, was there still that ambition to take it on another level?
Had to be, otherwise I wouldn't be here. We've substantially grown the revenues and profits in the last 2 years. But I'm not come here, and I wouldn't be allowed by the owner. Let's be very clear. But I'm not coming here to sit in a chair and smoke a Cohiba and think I've arrived and finished in life. I'm 42. I've got a lot to do, And so we want to be the best. And I think if you turn up for work and you don't want to do that, then you can't turn up.
No, for sure. And you just said that you want to be the best.
Yeah. How
have you made the customer experience better, or it is at the best right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've certainly we've really enhanced the customer experience. And again, through people. It sounds cliche, but it is through people. So we moved a few people about. We've enhanced the product. We've invested. We've listened to the clients. Clients will tell you what they want. People think, oh no, that's what they want. No. They've been putting it on. The hotel was on TripAdvisor at number 89 or whatever it was, and people keep telling you your Wi-Fi doesn't work, and you need new beds, and you need this, and your breakfast shocking, and your restaurant's very average, and so therefore maybe you want to sort them out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have really, and we, as I say, through a really good team and communication and making sure everybody's incentivized to deliver and achieve, and that's what the team is. They're all incentivized to deliver top 10 of that, one of that, they're marked on those scores.
So when you say incentivise, how do you look to increase performance within your staff to improve the experience? What do you mean by that, incentivise?
So they're incentivised on achieving a certain level of guest satisfaction.
Yes.
So they have to achieve a number. That we have different channels of clients' feedback, be it from TripAdvisor, be it from Bookings.com, be it from Renovate, whatever it is, and they have to achieve a certain number. We also have financial. So we have what's called the STR, which is our comp set, of which we have a comp set, and we have to be in the top 3 of that comp set. So it's like a football league. We have to be there.
Yes.
And this on a daily basis. And it is fact. It's based on occupancy, average room rate, and RevPAR. So you can't lie. Numbers don't lie, do they? You're either top of the league or bottom, and so they're incentivised on that. So we're incentivised on health and safety, on people turnover. So there's various factors really that we've put measurements in, so that therefore, if we hit all those measurements, your client's having a good time. It's fact.
And that's success for you.
Yeah.
For sure. How do you manage your staff to get the most out of them, apart from incentivising them? What do you do as a person, individual, out on that floor to make sure that they know that you're there?
Yeah, I think again, just like all of us, we're all different. Some need coaching, some need guiding, some need telling, some need cuddling. We're all different animals, aren't we? And I think once you learn how to lead people and manage people, again, and I think we've got the grown-ups here. They're not kids who work at the Stafford. So you're talking to a guy who's been here for 42 years as your master sommelier. I don't really need to start shouting and bawling at him, do I, to tell him that's not right? Because no one turns up at the Stafford to try and do anything wrong. They make mistakes, but we're all human, aren't we? So
of course,
if I make a mistake, put my hands up, I've made a mistake. It is what it is. No one's turned up to work to make sure the clients who walk in the door are going to have a terrible time.
Yes.
It's a mistake. Now, if we keep making mistakes, that's my fault as the boss, Carl, because I've not given them the tools to train properly or the tools to do their job, so that's my fault. So I think you've got to keep, again, listening. Yes.
And how do you recruit them type of people? Are you looking for a specific person? Is there a certain philosophy?
It all depends which job, doesn't it? So with certain jobs and roles, you need experience. But I go back to I would prefer attitude and application, because we can train anybody. I can train anybody to carry a cup. I can train anybody to make a bed. I can train anyone to answer a telephone. So if you've got the right attitude and application, then we have the skills to assist. If you come in and you've worked at the best 5-star hotel in New York for 10 years and you're an idiot, you're an idiot. So I'm not really interested in your CV. If you've got degrees and A stars, but you're an idiot or you're rude, very good. You're no good to me. Yeah. So that's the key, really. You want nice people because we all know work's hard enough. Life is hard enough, so let's all be nice to each other and let's all just deliver the job. My name is Stuart in the hotel. It is not Mr. Procter. I eat in the canteen. Yes. It is what it is. So we all work as one.
I mean, I remember her speaking to Simon Thomas, the Hippodrome owner, and he said if the person didn't smile as they walk in the room, he wasn't going to hire them. Yeah. Because he said it was all about that personality and that giving that experience to the customer. 100%. So you're very similar in that respect. In terms of what is your philosophy within customer experience? Is there a key indicator for you, apart from the figures that we talked about, the sort of KPIs that you mentioned? Yeah. Is there a key characteristic where you want a person to go away and say it was a great experience because of this or because of that? Is that something that you look for?
Yeah, it is. We all of us in life, we like recognition. Yes. I don't care who you are, whether you're my little boy Archie who's 15 or Mr. Getty, you like recognition, and that's the simplest thing to be able to do. So we like repeat, and so our KPI is on repeat clientele. So we will track how many times you have stayed, how many repeat clients we have. And so we have 65% of our business is repeat. That's a phenomenal figure in hotels.
Okay.
Because there's loads of factors why it costs us millions over the course of years to get new clients. So for God's sake, look after them, because it's really easy to look after clients, but to get new ones is really quite hard work.
Yes.
And so we then know what they like. Then they book with us. So the cost of doing business is very simple. And then we know exactly what they want, when they want it, so we can buy for them. So recognition is key. So we use the names. We have to, in the morning meeting in here, there's 20 people standing here. On that screen there comes up everybody who's arriving. We know the inside leg, what time they're coming, what time they're dropped off in the private chair. And that's what it has to be, because it will save us a lot of money in the long run if we just keep having repeat guests.
So are you collecting data on them people?
100%.
Yeah.
Everything.
So you will know what sort of drinks they like, what food they have.
Yeah, so if you're left-handed, and we wouldn't be serving the tea like that. We would know down to that detail. If you stayed with us for 3 times and you got in bed at that side, we would turn down that side of your bed. We would put water there. Or we knew you want San Pellegrino rather than Hilton water, we would do that. I mean, the length of detail we have for our clients is phenomenal. There's some clients who won't touch, they won't touch the floor. So they wouldn't touch a towel, they wouldn't touch a newspaper on the floor. You've got some of the most eccentric people in the world stay here.
Yes.
So when you've got all the money in the world, and I say this, what does a rich or affluent person do? Whatever they want. So they come up with the most fascinating requests.
And how do you record that data? Because you must have so much data about each person.
You do, and they all have a detailed database which is shared throughout the HODs, so they know really. It's like passing the baton. So when they walked in the front, but it's not like the Ritz-Carlton where they've got earpieces in. It is actually naturally done. From the front door to the reception, to the breakfast room, to the American bar, to the bedroom, and it's got to be constant.
Yes,
and it's a training, and it's a training, and it's a longevity with the team, so they get to know. So it's like a home. This is welcome home, because people come home here.
Okay, and last 2 questions from me. So, what is the biggest advice you were given, or you would give someone that was in this industry or coming into this industry?
I think the biggest piece of advice is, if you say you're going to do something, do it. Because if you let someone down, then they will just go somewhere else, be it colleagues or clients. And I also think if you're fortunate enough, which I am very fortunate, to be the boss of an amazing hotel that's recognised around the world, don't underestimate that position, and always remember someone wants your job.
Yes,
it's a fact. So I know someone would want my job. Why wouldn't they? It's a great job. So never. You're not indispensable. We just carry the keys for the owner, and then someone else will carry them. So just remember, you've got a top job.
Interesting way of thinking about it. So what's next for you and this beautiful hotel?
So we've launched the Game Bird, which is only in its infancy, so it's only 4 months old. So we've got a lot of work to do to ensure that continues. We're really pleased with it, but the momentum continues and the freshness. We're going to refurbish the main house. We're going to do the American bar. So again, evolve the American bar and freshen it up in January. So that'd be great. And then we'll look for other things. We'll look for other buildings, other restaurants. And really, once we get to a stage we're all very comfortable, or not comfortable, but happy with the positioning where we are now, we can take on other hotels. We can take on other restaurants.
Excellent. So always looking for what's next.
Got to, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and in every podcast, always end with 10 quick-fire questions.
Yeah.
So you ready?
Yep, go.
What turns you on professionally?
Turns me on professionally. Dealing with clients.
What turns you off professionally?
Dealing with poor staff.
How do you unwind?
Watch football, fly fish.
Excellent. What profession other than your own would you like to try?
None.
What activity gives you the most energy?
Swimming.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
Probably Craig Bancroft.
if you had to present a speech right now, what one word would be its subject?
One word?
Yes.
Hotels.
You were at your best when you were doing what?
Leading a team.
If today was the last day of your life, what one lesson would you impart?
Try your best.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say as the reason he is letting you through the gates?
You've been loyal.
Excellent. And there we go. That's it.
Voila.
Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
And it was a pleasure. And anyone who wants to visit the Stafford, I highly recommend it.
Thank you very much.